Breaking news, another reported shooting in Minneapolis involving federal agents. This is a live look at the scene, what we know so far.
And more breaking news, the fate of a local school board vice president involved in a controversial video decided tonight in a razor-thin vote.
And taking a live look at the radar, we're not out of the grips of the winter weather. How much more snow could be on the way?
Live from Chicago, this is Fox 32 News at 9.
And we thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Scott Schneider.
And I'm Dawn Hasbrook. Back to that breaking news tonight. Another reported shooting involving federal agents in Minneapolis. This is a live look at the scene right now. It happened at 7:30 tonight, just about an hour and a half ago. At least one person was shot, has non-life-threatening injuries. Homeland Security saying the person shot in the leg was someone from Venezuela. Federal agents, DHS, ICE personnel are involved now in this volatile scene. This is in North Minneapolis. Again, reports of a shooting tied to an enforcement operation. Authorities working to confirm details of the shooting in the midst of this tense standoff. As you can see, a number of people in the street, responders, crowds. This again, North Minneapolis. Reports on social platforms that we were seeing, early reports, unverified though, that an agent was hit with a shovel. There are no official confirmed reports that happened, but that is what the Department of Homeland Security is saying right now, and that a Venezuelan person was the person that they were after. And we will continue to update that information.
Well, as a matter of fact, DHS has released a statement to social media. It is rather lengthy. We're going to paraphrase it for you. To Dawn's earlier point, they were pursuing allegedly a Venezuelan individual attacked perhaps with a broom handle or a shovel. The officer being ambushed and attacked by individuals. Fearing for his safety, he fired a defensive shot. A subject was hit in the leg. All three subjects ran back into the apartment, barricaded themselves inside. This attack on another brave member of law enforcement took place while Minnesota's top leaders, Governor Walz and Mayor Frey, are actively encouraging an organized resistance to ICE and federal law enforcement officers. Again, it goes on to talk about the job that ICE is doing in Minneapolis. This is a story that is very fluid tonight. Again, as you are looking live, this has been going on all afternoon, and in some areas not far from where the shooting took place 1 week ago today, claiming the life of that 37-year-old mother of a 6-year-old. As soon as more information becomes available, we will bring it to you. Also, more breaking news tonight. A decision has been made about that vice president of the Madison School Board.
Parents in Madison Elementary School District 159 speaking out tonight about the controversial video involving him.
Leslie Moreno joining us live right now. So, Leslie, what was that decision?
Hey guys, good evening. Yeah, tonight's meeting was all about coming to a resolution, and that's exactly what happened. The board voted to remove him as the vice president, but to keep him on the board, a decision many parents and community members say they're happy with. That meeting just wrapped up moments ago. Take a look there. Parents in Madison Elementary School District 159 had been calling for the resignation of the district's vice president, Carl Scott Sr., after video surfaced showing him assaulting a man back in 2024 while he was Robbins police chief. That video shows him striking a man during an interrogation. The incident ultimately led to his resignation from the department and a misdemeanor battery conviction. Despite that, Scott continued to serve on the board, a position that's unpaid and elected to a 4-year term. Tonight, parents and community members came to the district's board meeting to express their concerns about what that would mean for leadership in the district responsible for educating young children. We also heard from people who spoke on Scott's behalf as well, saying they would like to see him keep his seat on the board. Take a listen.
Are we holding his past over his head? I'm positive that he has done a lot of good things outside of the one bad thing that is being viewed. To make sure that I express that I hope your decision on whatever you choose today is guided by what's in the best interest of our children and the long-term reputation of this district, not on personal relationships, political considerations.
Again, that decision passed 4-3. Both sides, parents and community members as well, saying they're happy with that decision. They say it's a very happy common ground. Les Moreno, Fox Chicago.
All right, let's get right to Fox Chicago's chief meteorologist, Emily Walls, now for a first check of our forecast today. More snow, huh?
Yes, more snow. It's snowing right now across northwest Indiana, and we have very heavy snow to tell you about as well. So for those of you, especially in Porter County right now, what you're seeing here showing up on the radar, all of these green patches that you see from Porter all the way down toward Valparaiso, this is for snow rates as high as about 1 to 2 inches per hour that are going to be possible here. So we do have a winter weather advisory for Porter County until 9 a.m. tomorrow for 2 to 6 inches of snow being possible, but even higher amounts going to be possible in the pink shaded area here, LaPorte County, as much as 5 to 12 inches. And we have widespread snow in your forecast again Thursday evening into early Friday. Those details coming up.
A warning tonight to residents in the Humboldt Park community. A sexual assault took place early Monday morning. Police say it happened near the corner of North Lawndale Avenue and West Hurst Street. Investigators say a man approached a woman on the sidewalk, forced her into a nearby alley, and sexually assaulted her before fleeing on foot. It happened in broad daylight in a busy neighborhood, which is why police have issued a community alert. Fox Chicago spoke to neighbors who are shocked to hear about the incident.
Yeah, like you said, it's kind of shocking because, I mean, for the most part, you know, we don't have that much. I mean, the area's gotten better the last few years, but we still have crime around here. But like I said, most part, this block here, we all look out for each other, so.
Tonight, police encouraging anyone with any information to contact them.
Let's take a live look at Midway International Airport, courtesy of EarthCam. The city of Chicago is exploring selling naming rights to Midway and O'Hare airports. The Chicago Aviation Department is inviting firms, agencies, and experts to share ideas about sponsorship opportunities at the airports. The request for information is not a request for proposals, and no contract will be offered. It's simply to discuss the feasibility of the project and look into the potential value. The deadline, February 17th.
Okay, so here in the city, the snow, the wind calming down for now, but northwest Indiana dealt with the brunt of lake effect snow.
Yes, no matter where you were, you felt it today. Brett Pagansky shows you why they all said the timing is perfect for Bears weather.
I woke up this morning and my alarm on my cell phone went off. Got kind of caught off guard.
A surprise weather blitz for some across Chicagoland. Whether you're driving, like Gwen from Humboldt Park.
Traffic, like for the cars, it's rough. It's really slow going out there.
Or walking in a defensive stance like Annie from Wicker Park.
You need to make sure you're careful with your face because that wind is swirling around.
Speaking of the wind, you could see it driving people back in Gary, Indiana Wednesday afternoon.
The wind is blowing the bus around, so I have to drive real slow so I don't have an accident.
Bus driver Darius Harad felt the impact during his route downtown. Gary police officer Dennis Winnington told us about how the wind and lake effect snow stunted his commute.
It's slippery. I saw a few accidents. Even trucks and cars had pulled over to the side. So it was really bad.
It's bear weather, as we like to call it.
Bad for Rams fans, but for Bears fans.
Sounds pretty good. I'm from Chicago, so Chicago Bears is better.
But what's best right now, whether you speak to Bear fans here in Chicago or Bears fans in Gary, Indiana, they say bring on this Bears weather for Sunday. This weather shows up on Sunday.
Bears got it. We're going to take them down.
In Gary, Brett Pagansky, Fox Chicago.
Authorities sounding the alarm tonight about local drug production as it's ramping up.
How police track and take down drug houses.
In 2025, we seized double the pill presses that we seized in 2024 throughout the Chicago Field Division, and that's a concerning trend that we're seeing nationally.
And a concerning trend about drug production. It was back in the early 2000s that crystal meth and janky home labs that people had set up were a massive safety hazard for police.
And today, those dangers still exist. Unit 32's Tia Ewing explains how and why in this special report.
Yeah, 1730 County. We made entry. He's live.
10-4. Last September, Crestwood Police and Fire were called to this building in the 12700 block of South Central Avenue. It was for a well-being check, later reclassified as a potential crystal methamphetamine lab with hazmat level 2 concerns.
County fireman ambulance out here. I had 2 of my officers exposed to whatever was being cooked inside that unit.
8 first responders, 4 police officers, and 4 firefighters were taken to the hospital after they began experiencing negative effects from fumes being released from an unknown substance on the stove in a ground-level apartment. In addition to the fumes, they also found 38-year-old John Fiacchino unresponsive and rushed him to the hospital. He is now charged with 2 counts of felony possession for meth and mushrooms. He's also charged with reckless conduct for creating a level 2 hazmat situation in his home by setting up what appeared to be a methamphetamine laboratory.
The ISD crime lab is going to contact those 3 directly.
The Illinois State Police Department's clandestine lab team also responded to this incident. They specialize in dismantling and disposing hidden drug labs. In the last 3 years, they have been called out at least 33 times. 28 of them were to get rid of a meth lab.
We aren't seeing the large-scale production of methamphetamine like we saw in the early 2000s. We've seen more of a shift into these counterfeit pill labs.
Todd Smith is the new special agent in charge for the DEA's Chicago Field Division.
We see labs in different places. We see them in people's homes. We see them in garages. We see them in warehouses at varying scales.
Smith and his agents know firsthand more and more of these pill labs are popping up across the U.S.
In 2025, we seized double the pill presses that we seized in 2024 throughout the Chicago Field Division, and that's a concerning trend that we're seeing nationally.
Smith says that's a real concern because they're seeing more fentanyl powder and methamphetamine across the United States being pressed into pills locally.
There's a greater risk of overdose. The person manufacturing the pill wouldn't necessarily know the potency of the fentanyl or the methamphetamine.
Last June, Chicago DEA agents arrested a 32-year-old Frankfurt man for running a fentanyl lab out of his girlfriend's Oak Lawn apartment. According to court records, the DEA's undercover investigation found James Howard would make the pills in the apartment's kitchen and then pack them in a comforter blanket and leave them in the hallway outside to be picked up. Smith says it's not uncommon for the fake fentanyl pills to look like another drug.
They've been doing it for years, distributing counterfeit oxycodone M30s that contained fentanyl and didn't contain oxycodone. And now you're seeing a shift in production to not only manufacturing clandestine counterfeit oxycodone pills, but also counterfeit Adderall pills that contain methamphetamine.
In 2025, the Chicago DEA seized 1.7 million counterfeit fentanyl pills. Despite that, they say their main concern is the increase in counterfeit meth pills and the record high number they grabbed last year that was just under 500,000. The DEA says its #1 advice for parents or caregivers is to talk to your kids about the dangers of illegal drugs, specifically counterfeit pills. Stress to them that if a pill was not prescribed to them by a pharmacist or if the pill was not prescribed to them by a doctor, do not take that pill, even if it's from a trusted person. Tia Ewing, Fox Chicago.
New video shows the conditions outside downtown. The snow making visibility so bad you couldn't even see downtown.
Yeah, we've got time lapse out of Orland Park, and this is pretty cool because you can see how fast the snow fell in the south suburbs. Much different story tonight. The snow machine has been turned off here in the city, but boy, is it cold out there, Emily.
Very cold out there, and the snow machine that is still cranking on for some parts of the area, mainly in northwest Indiana. So we have lake effect snow that's ongoing, and it's becoming heavier by the hour. So as expected, this evening and tonight, we have a couple lake effect bands that are beginning to dominate here. They're going to continue to move into Porter County and LaPorte County and likely leave behind some pretty impressive totals. So if we zoom things in, you see all these green patches here? So typically when you're looking at the radar, your brain starts to think, okay, this is rain if we're seeing green, but I've actually changed the color palette here because it's easier to pick out the heaviest bursts of snow when you can highlight them in a different color here. So we're seeing very intense snow coming down across portions of Porter and LaPorte as we speak. This is very quickly going to coat roadways that aren't already covered in snow, and it looks like I think the crews are going to have a hard time keeping ahead of that lake effect throughout this evening and tonight. For those of you in Porter, you're looking at 2 to 6 inches of snow being possible throughout the county there because of lake effect. And then over in LaPorte County, you could potentially be seeing locally up to 5 to 12 inches. So a lot of snow, very hazardous travel expected tonight into early tomorrow in Porter and LaPorte. Wind chill temperatures, it's cold. A lot of us feeling like the single digits. That's what it's going to be feeling like again tomorrow morning as well. Futurecast, here's the lake effect band that's going to be continuing through tonight, but then you'll notice how it begins to weaken tomorrow morning and then take off toward the east. So by mid to late morning, we're going to begin to dry things out in northwest Indiana, and the rest of the day looks quiet until evening. So after about 6 p.m., we're going to start to see snow spreading in from west to east. We'll have a widespread 1 to 2 inches being possible Thursday evening into early morning Friday. And this is going to be followed by yet another cold front, bringing in scattered snow showers for your Friday. So it's going to be a very, very snowy and winter-like end to this week. Temperatures tonight down to 12 degrees, but it's going to feel more like 0. Of course, we still have that heavy lake effect snow ongoing. 7-day forecast tomorrow, 26, partly cloudy during the day, snow during the evening and at night. And then going into the weekend, it gets very cold. We have scattered snow showers on Saturday and Sunday for the Bears game. Small chance of a couple flurries, nothing substantial. The bigger weather story, of course, is the cold with a high of 18 and kickoff temps in the mid-teens. Let's get a check of your weather pick of the day. I love this one. Saw this come in this morning. And this is Rosie, taken by Bob. And Rosie's got the right idea. That's what I want to do on a nice snowy day as well.
Yeah, just stay in.
Just chill.
Relax,
Give me a Jones for some Reese's.
Yeah, I know. I need that pillow.
Thanks, Emily.
I'm Kathy Carlson. Sunday's divisional game will be a premier quarterback matchup of young versus old. Later in sports, find out what Caleb Williams has learned from watching Matthew Stafford.
Stream good.
Bears back at Hallis Hall, prepping for the Rams today in the divisional round. This is a marquee matchup at QB, Caleb Williams and Matthew Stafford.
Both QBs shared the Hollywood spotlight for a couple of years. Stafford with the Rams, Caleb at USC. And as Cassie Carlson reports, the Bears want the two of them to have a lot more in common.
Respect for quarterback play is mutual between both the Bears and Rams. Rams head coach Sean McVay called Caleb Williams a nightmare to defend, while the Bears see 38-year-old Matthew Stafford as an MVP and someone Ben Johnson used as an example to his own quarterback.
An experienced player that sees the field really well. He understands defenses. He knows how to manipulate defenses. He's got a great feel for the game.
At the top of the game right now, and you know, at his age and things like that. And so that's something you can learn from. I mean, how he plays the game. You know, you drop back and he has what everybody calls snake eyes.
Playing probably the best football, probably of his career. He'll probably say that. I think he's just very confident within the scheme.
Running back DeAndre Swift saw Stafford work firsthand when they were together in Detroit.
I call him the GOAT. That's my guy right there. When I got into the league, he was the first person to reach out to me. Going to Detroit, first guy I worked out with. A ton of respect for him, how he goes about his business. He's been doing it at a high level for so long. Can't say enough great things about him. He's a true warrior.
Williams has proven to be a fourth-quarter warrior after leading the Bears to their 7th fourth-quarter comeback win against Green Bay, something his teammates believe comes down to his preparation.
I'm not in the meetings with him day in and day out, but I do know, like I always say, his car is here longer, his car is here earlier. And he's always has a notebook in his hand, always going over something. Like, he's taking his process very, very serious. And that's something that we need to do, every individual, to go ahead and kind of have the success that we want to have.
Being able to have the belief and faith in myself from my preparation going into games definitely helps, especially late in games, especially leaning back on what you study, leaning back on, you know, your training and all those small things.
And as the Bears prepare for another cold weather game, Kevin Byard said Ben Johnson's done a good job preparing them throughout the season as they have been practicing outside throughout the week without heaters, something he said players have complained about, but now he sees as a good thing. At Hallis Hall, Cassie Carlson, Fox Chicago Sports.
Fox Chicago, of course, your destination for coverage of the Rams and Bears Sunday. It all begins with Bears Game Day Live, a special time this weekend, 12:30. Once the game ends, head back over to Fox Chicago for full post-game reaction and analysis, including media availability from head coach Ben Johnson and the players. We'll be right back.
My moderate.
We're still following breaking news out of Minneapolis. Another reported shooting involving federal agents. These are live pictures. It happened at about 7 tonight. At least one person has non-life-threatening injuries. The Department of Homeland Security says they were going after an illegal alien, quote unquote, from Venezuela during a traffic stop. They say the officers were attacked. We'll be following this and bring you updates on Good Day Chicago beginning at 4:30 a.m. Emily, another update.
All right, it's snowing very hard right now across portions of Porter and LaPorte counties. We could be seeing as much as 5 to 12 inches in LaPorte County, 2 to 6 in Porter, but hazardous travel tonight and tomorrow, and then it just gets cold. We have a very winter-like end to this week. Another 1 to 2 inches going to be possible Thursday evening and Thursday night.
All right. Chicago sports tonight, straight ahead. Make it a good night.
Good night.